He's muted.
Dr. Albert, you're muted.
Okay. Welcome all. It's wonderful to see you here, though I must claim and admit that I would rather see you in person. What can you do that I'm old school? But because of these challenging times, this is the only way for us to meet, and I will not miss that for the world. This year was challenging, especially dealing with the pandemic. 7 months that change our way of lives at work and at home. I would like to share with you a quick overview of the intense activity in the campus during these trying times. I'm sometimes confused if it's 7 months or 7 years. The movie? No.
This is truly an unprecedented situation.
This virus doesn't discriminate. It attacks everyone.
The number of cases worldwide rose past 1 million. The virus is being blamed.
It has been 6 months since the first case of COVID-19 was diagnosed in Haifa, Israel. At Rambam Healthcare Campus, dedicated medical teams and staff members are battling this global pandemic on multiple fronts, working hard to provide the best possible care and keep everyone safe. 3 fully equipped, isolated coronavirus departments were established. Rambam has treated the majority of COVID-19 patients in northern Israel and has conducted and processed thousands of COVID-19 lab tests. Rambam created a strategy for converting the Sami Ofer fortified underground emergency hospital into a 900-bed coronavirus facility, building the required infrastructure and training staff for the unique conditions. Rambam has partnered with elite IDF units, academic institutions, and industry leaders to find innovative solutions for the challenges faced in Israel and worldwide. These solutions address personal protective equipment needs, patient monitoring, testing methodologies, and more, including a test pooling method designed by physicians and researchers from Rambam and the Technion, and a mapping method that identifies COVID-19 outbreaks in real time. The pandemic has forced Rambam to think outside the box to stay connected with patients and others. Instead of in-person appointments, doctors often communicate with patients via telephone, Zoom, and Facebook Live to host professional webinars and cultural events for viewers in Israel and abroad. Local and global communities have come together to support Rambam. Monetary gifts have been received from individuals and organizations in Israel and around the world. Life-saving medical equipment has been donated, and generous friends have facilitated the repair of other items. On Israel's Independence Day, the Air Force Aerobatics Unit performed a flyby in the skies over the hospital to salute Rambam's medical teams. As Rambam moves forward during these uncertain times, striving to provide the finest care, it does so with honor and gratitude for those whose support and vision enables us to be the best that we can be.
I think that this really summarizes many of the things that happened with us during the last 7 months. It's a beautiful clip to show us all what was happening. We are almost at Rosh Hashanah. On Friday, we were going to celebrate the Rosh Hashanah, the New Year. And now, at this time, you look backwards on the last year and trying to assess what happened and try to get some thinking about the events that happened. There were many episodes that left the impression on me that I will not forget. I would like to share with you one personal experience. As you know, I am, or basically I was, intensive care physician. Intensivists work closely with our respiratory therapists, the RTs. Unfortunately, our RTs got infected by COVID that was brought in by one of the staff from outside of the hospital. One Saturday evening, I was notified that one of the RTs that I worked with for the last 30 years deteriorated at home and needed immediate evacuation to intensive care. As an instinct, I phoned him. He sounded very sick and was fighting to breathe. He could barely speak. You could hear the fear in his voice. He just managed to say, "Mickey, save me. Please look after me." I'm carrying this sentence with me day after day ever since. Fortunately, with massive treatment, he recuperated and is fine now. We are here in the business of saving lives. 5,300 of Rambam finalists are committed to that. I feel privileged to have the opportunity to work with such an amazing crowd. As you saw, we talked about the COVID-19 through webinars and all kinds of lectures around the country and around the world. When I talk about pandemia, I mention three special things. The first one is our amazing staff, starting with my colleagues from the executive leadership, each and every one of them, what an A team. And to each and every member of the Rambam family. The second, the industry, the Technion, and the IDF elite units that came to our aid and gave us solution to unmet needs we had within days. This was the true Israeli spirit and the brain, the Israeli brain that came together to give solutions. The third is our longtime friends and partners that once again stood next to us and helped us in so many ways. As I'm only now between friends, I can disclose that around 30 million shekels were donated to fight COVID. So overwhelming and so exciting. I can't underemphasize to each and every one of you my deepest gratitude from the bottom of my heart of being part of the Rambam journey. During these challenging times, we were very busy, but despite the intensive never-ending work, we haven't stopped for one day with the developing of the infrastructure of the campus and also with fulfilling our mandate. The first one, to give the best medical care to our patients, and at the same time, to push the envelope of medical care with research and innovation. So we'll pass you to Adi, that will share with us some of the highlights we had this year. Those of you that are observant might see the connection. Over to Adi.
Thank you. Shalom from Rambam. Welcome to our festive news edition, summarizing the past Jewish year. Despite COVID-19, lots of new ground was broken. We'll begin right after the intro. Welcome back. Rambam established new services, including Women's OBG Clinic for sexual assault victims. This is the first service of its kind in northern Israel. Rambam established an egg preservation bank. We now see more embryos, successful pregnancies, and births. Mazal tov to all the new parents. Cutting-edge immunotherapy treatment is now offered. The treatment, launched by the Department of Hematology and Bone Marrow Transplantation, used genetically engineered T cells to kill cancer cells. From new services to innovation and research, Professor David Yarnitsky, director of Rambam's Department of Neurology, developed a patented device to alleviate migraines. It is listed on the Times Magazine Top 100 Inventions for 2019. For the first time ever, Rambam and the Technion established Human Health Research Fund to boost the joint collaborations between physicians, researchers, inventors, and engineers. The fund's goal is to create innovative, groundbreaking solutions for the multitude of medical challenges. Rambam currently runs more than 1,900 research studies. More than 25% started this year. Researchers at Rambam have also received 22 new competitive grants this year. Rambam's Center for Medical Cannabis Research has become a reality, and last year's research led to extensive collaborations with the American company Rafael Pharmaceuticals and the Israeli company Univo, including 3 clinical trials that will begin next year. A new early development clinical trial unit has been established under the leadership of Dr. Avivit Pe'er. This unit will promote our collaboration to the academy and pharmaceuticals industry worldwide. Many milestones have occurred. 2020 is the year of the nurse and the midwife. We mark the beginning of this year with a medical care Tetris challenge and an event in memory of Cheryl Spencer. The Department of International Relations and Resource Development, led by Dr. Esti Golan, raised tens of millions of shekel, which was immediately used to purchase hundreds of pieces of new equipment and for general campus development. Our 20-story Helmsley Health Discovery Tower skeleton is completed. The building is now in final casing stages. The renovated Department of Internal Medicine H moved into its new home in the Bayview building. The Department of Emergency Medicine was renamed Green Wagner Department of Emergency Medicine, honoring longtime friends and supporters Daphne Wagner and David Green, who is the president of Canadian Friends of Rambam. A ceremony was held in November to dedicate Rabbi Yechiel Eckstein Zal Shock Trauma Room. The Yal Ofer Heart Hospital skeleton and casing are completed. We're now starting work on the building's infrastructure and finishing work on the ground, first and second floor. A robotic pharmaceutical storage system, a cath lab, and an O-arm system for advanced orthopedic surgical procedures were acquired. Rambam has been recognized for several achievements this year. Of all national NICU units, we are proud to inform that our NICU was ranked first by the Israeli Ministry of Health. Rambam's Cheryl Spencer Pediatric Emergency Department topped the list of the Israeli Ministry of Health's best pediatric ER departments. We've reached the end of this news edition that summarizes only the top of the iceberg of all the hard work and great achievements of all of our amazing staff members. This is all for now. I'm off to tend to my patients in labor and delivery to help them welcome their new babies. I hope that this year will bring joy and happiness and good health to all. Thank you all for joining us for a glimpse into life at Rambam. I'm honored to turn your attention to Professor Rafi Biar, President of Rambam's International Friends Association. See you later.
Hello, everybody. Dear friends and family of Rambam across the globe. We started this year with no idea how life will change in the entire world. I myself visited California at the beginning of 2020, met our friends, had meetings regarding Rambam-Stanford collaboration, but since then, the world has dramatically changed. 14 years ago, we faced a fierce war from Lebanon. We built an underground hospital. Today, we fight the virus as part of a global war, and at the same time look forward to the historic peace that happens in this region at these moments. It was a dream of many of our friends, by the way, that the Rambam will be a center for health for the region, including the Emirates and Bahrain and other, and obviously the closer neighbors around us. Since March, as COVID-19 broke out of China, as Rambam was preparing for the challenge, We continue to keep in contact with our friends and supporters through webinars, calls, and updates. While in the north of Israel at the beginning, we had a very little level of patients, today the current spread puts Rambam at the center. With the expanding wave of the virus in northern Israel, Rambam, as you heard, treats today close to 70 patients, and many of them severely infected at 3 departments. Dr. Albertan, Mickey, leads the war and does a phenomenal job with his devoted team. This is an amazing team that works across the entire hospital. And this happens on top of other regular and emergency activities for the 1,000 bed hospital. The amazing and devoted staff at Rambam continue to fight all diseases, trauma, cancer, heart surgeries, and more, 24/7. I myself continue to treat our cardiac patients as usual, treating myocardial infarctions, opening blockages in the heart. Today was my cath lab day, and I saw the installation of the new cath lab. Just today, a new cath lab at Rambam that was donated by really our friends around the world. We heard about that we continue to build our future in the middle of this war. We received a lot of support from the community here in Israel and from abroad over the last few months. We received so many support letters and donations that warm our heart and allow us to continue to function despite this very difficult scenario. I want to thank our friends, organizations from around the world, Mary, Ellen, Sari, Nathaniel, and the entire board from the United States, Daphna, David, Carrie from Canada, Anita, Samantha, Anushka from the UK, Verd and supporting board from Australia, Robert from Spain, Joel from France, and Ralphie and Yael from India, who continue to care and support our precious hospital in this very challenging world. This year, we lost 2 dear friends, Irma Spencer from Boston and Paul Amir from Los Angeles. Let their memories be blessed. I sent my hugs to the dear families. Herta and Orna that I visited in the beginning of this year. I spoke to Herta yesterday and talked to her about what impact did Paul has on this place. I also visited Aaron Spencer last year, and I see Mark is around there. Both of them had continued to have an incredible impact on Rambam family. We cherish their memory as part of Rambam Lifetime Legacy Circle, and we send hugs and loves to their beloved families. I want to wish you all a very happy and healthy new year. I hope that next year we'll be able to meet in person, celebrate together, and continue to work together on the development of Rambam. Thank you very much.
We live in a very challenging period, and this period makes the friendship of all of you even more crucial than in regular days.
This has been a difficult year all around the world.
It's a very interesting period. We have a lot of big wall around us, but there are some cracks that the light comes in. With what we see, we have a lot of cracks. We have a lot of things that we have to renew. And Rambam is definitely on that road. Has been doing it for the last 20 years. And it's a good beginning, and we definitely need the same ability to learn and to rethink.
I, along with my wife Daphne and our children, consider Rambam to be our family business in Israel. Why? Because we know that Rambam is truly Israel at its best. As both donors and representatives, we are both humbled and proud that Rambam is a core aspect of our lives as Canadian Jews.
I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a Happy New Year, Shana Tova, keep safe, and continue to do God's work.
But look back at the past year and remember the wonderful things that did happen. The birth of a baby, wedding, bar mitzvah. May you all be inscribed and sealed for a good year, for good health, and for peace.
Helmsley thanks all of the Rambam staff for their selfless dedication and service during this pandemic.
So I wish us great luck by being in that process, and I'm sure we'll do a wonderful job of what we all try to do it.
And we are very happy to be part of Rambam family. Continue to do great things.
To my family in Haifa, to the Rambam family, doctors, nurses, support crew, researchers, and the likes. We, as your friends of the family, we will be standing behind you and looking forward for your further achievements in the field of the hospital, research, and treatment.
May next year bring us a return to normalcy and allow me to travel to the Rambam to see the great progress being made on the Helmsley Discovery Tower.
Together with the Board of Canadian Friends of Rambam, we wish everyone a Shana Tova.
Thank you very much and Happy New Year. Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
The Shana Tova from our family and the American Friends of Rambam to your family.
All the best to you all.
Thank you all, and Shana Tova.
And now my grandson, Skylar. Takia. Teruah. Shivarim. Takia Godola.
Be calm, be kind, and be well.
On behalf of the Israeli Friends of Rambam, I would like to wish all the Rambam family, and especially our friends all over the world, Shana Tova.
Thank you all, amazing. All of you, important people in our lives in Israel and at Rambam, quite touching. Till a few hours ago, 624 patients with COVID-19 were hospitalized at Rambam. We would like to show you a personal testimony, the story of one of them, patient number 105.
I was a little bit afraid that maybe things will escalate and then they will have to use a special equipment to help me breathe. I was scared for my kids, for my wife. When they called me from the Department of Health and they asked me, where do you want to go, which hospital do you want to go, straight away I said I want to go to Rambam. And then I saw the ambulance with the paramedics with those space suits and the mask and everything. They took me to the hospital. I was in the ambulance alone by myself. I came to the hospital, the doors open, and I was by myself. Nobody was there except from one doctor that was also wearing those spaceman suits. Ran some, I don't know, checks, temperature and everything. Showed me the room, and that's it. My name is Ariel Grabois. I'm 35 years old, married with 2 boys. I was invited to judge the Romanian championship in ballroom dancing. A couple of days later, I was judging in Malta, some international competition. Started to feel really, really bad. Got back home, immediately went to quarantine, self-quarantine, back at home. 4 days after it, when I felt really, really bad, they sent somebody to run the COVID-19 check. It came positive. I was really shocked. Epidemic was new in Israel, in the world. Ambulance came to my home, took me to Rambam hospital. The first night was a little bit strange for me because it's the first time that I'm in the hospital. The only communication that you have with your family, friends, or the medical staff, it's only through your phone. The medical staff communicated with me several times a day through special communication system that you can speak with them and you can see them on a screen. So you felt that they are actually there all the time. Like the nurse, the doctors, everybody took care of everything. After 2 weeks that I was released from the hospital, I decided to donate plasma. I was the first person that was cured from COVID-19 and donate plasma in Israel. My final message to everybody is that COVID-19 is real. I was lucky that I was cured. People need to keep the guideline, wear masks, keep social distance. Together we will make it. I want to wish everybody Shana Tova.
Dr. Halbertal, we can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry. Wow, what a story. You know, a personal testimony by one of our patients, just to give you a glimpse how it looks like to be on the other side of the COVID-19. I can tell you that this is, it's not a flu. It's a difficult illness, and you can see how it can affect someone. And we hope that even though we are not in a good position now, and we are going to lockdown again, I hope that in the future things will change. So, you know, now we looked back, and now let's look to the future, and let's wish all of us and raise the glass of wine. Everybody has a glass. That's here. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. I know some of you are in the morning. You're allowed to drink. So let's raise the glass and toast the new year to good health, good deeds, and good friendship. May this coming year will be better than the former and a little bit more relaxed. I think we will enjoy it more. I hope that this incoming year we'll be able to meet each other here in Israel, or in the States, or in the Canada, and where you're coming from, and Australia. And just keep safe and lots of health. Shana Tova, L'chaim.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. תודה לעודד, לאייל ולענבר.
שנה טובה.
Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for Oded and the rest of the gang for Inbar and that made this event happening.
And Eyal.
Eyal.
And Adi.
And Adi. Okay, all of you.
Thank you again.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
In your heart to first starts and you feel you made mistakes.
Shana Tova.
You got what it takes. Believe it. Being wrong can be made right. Just forgive me, you need not fight. Shana Tova umetuka. It's Rosh Hashanah. Shana Tova umetuka. Keep your apple in the honey. It's Rosh Hashanah.